What's going on, guys, and welcome to my match recap and player ratings for yesterday's game. Manchester United 2, Liverpool 1. Yes, you heard it right. Manchester United 2, Liverpool 1. I still can't quite believe that we did what we did. We controlled most of the game. I felt Liverpool threatened for maybe the last 10-15 minutes of the game, put pressure on us, which we dealt with. They got a goal back, but we still managed to hold on and grind out for the 3 points. Much needed points on the board as well. We've gone to 14th now, I believe, from bottom place, from 20th. I felt like we were comfortable for most of the game, as I said. I thought most of the players have average or above average ratings as well, which we'll get into in a little while. Pleasantly surprised. Martinez and Varane's first game starting together and getting thrown into no pre-season to get used to each other, or they haven't played together before. So I thought they were terrific, those two. Really at it, especially Martinez. A lot of people give Varane their man of the match, and I can understand why. I'll get into my man of the match in a little while. I predicted 6-0 to Liverpool, even though they've had a bad start to their season themselves. I thought we were going to be the starting point for them to kick on, and it didn't happen, and I'm grateful it didn't. As I said, I'm still a little bit like, you know, when you're kind of in shock and you can't process what's happened, because we played yesterday how we know we can play when everyone's at it, and that's involving new players as well that haven't had time to get used to each other yet. So if we can get a bit of consistency, I'm not saying we're going to challenge for the title or anything like that, but we looked like a top 5 team yesterday, easily. That's with Ronaldo on the bench as well, so that's something to bear in mind too. I think Ten Hag deserves a lot of credit, because yesterday he pulled it off, dropped big names, started players that certain fans probably wouldn't have been happy about, but it worked. I think for the majority of the game, even though Salah got a goal, I thought he was a ghost. I thought Diaz looked the main threat for Liverpool, but I think we made Van Dijk look silly. I think Alanga challenged Trent quite a lot on that side and got him in situations that he weren't comfortable with. He exposed these points and exposed that, or got at their weaknesses at this season in terms of their consistency and their issues they've got. So delighted with a win, obviously. 3 points, much needed points on the board, as I said. We've been here before though, and we haven't kicked on, and we haven't showed the consistency to then follow this up, and that is where I'm waiting to see what happens in this Southampton game, because I've predicted a draw for that game. But with a performance like that, we should be winning even if we're going away. But football doesn't work like that, so we're going to have to wait and see what the consistency is like. Some of these players are brand new to the side and will take time to gel and completely show their full potential. The likes of Malacia, the likes of Martinez. The signs yesterday, like I said, when they're at it, it's very promising. But this doesn't get rid of all the problems the club's got. But it at least helps a bit when you're putting in performances on the pitch, which we've all been crying out for. So a great performance yesterday from the majority of the team. Dominant centre-back performance from Martinez and Varane, which we desperately needed. Played quite a high line. Obviously, a big talking point is no Harry Maguire, who was on the bench, and look what the result we got. I think if Maguire would have played, we would have got exposed for that pace again at the back, especially trying to play a high line with Liverpool on the counter. So I think we can't ignore these certain things that Ten Hag has brought in and done, and he's not scared to drop players, and it's brilliant to see. So positive signs, delighted with a win, as I said. Into the player ratings. David De Gea, I'd give him an average. I don't think he had a ton to do. Obviously, we didn't get a clean sheet, but other than the goal that they scored, didn't really have a lot to do. So De Gea, I'd give him an average. Delo, 6. He was a bit aggressive at times, and it was a little bit like, oh, calm down a little bit, you might get sent off kind of thing. But he kind of did temper it after a little while, and I thought he had a good game, so I'd give Delo a 6. Varane, a lot of people's man of the match, and I get it. I'd give him a 6. I think he started strongly, was consistent throughout the game, but I think near the end, a little bit, wasn't poor, but I think he got a little bit less involved as the game went on in the dying moments. So I'd give Varane a 6. Martinez a 7. I thought he started shaky and looked a little bit nervous, but then after a while he really upped his game, his passion. Right early on in the game, he barged into Salah off the ball when a free kick was given. Whilst they're getting the play set up, he's barging into him, showing the passion and ready for the fight and up for the task. And this is the Martinez I saw against Rayo Vallecano in the pre-season game, which we haven't seen in the season yet since it started when he's featured. And yesterday we got shown what he's capable of and the level that he can play at. So I'm hoping that we can get consistent performances from Martinez more often than not, because yesterday, for me, spoiler alert, he was my man of the match. And I don't think enough people are giving him credit, because a lot of people give it to Varane yesterday, but I think Martinez had a better game. So 7 for Martinez, 5 from Malacia for me, average. A lot of people giving him above average. I don't think he was poor, but I don't think he was that involved in the game as much as I've seen him in other games. So not terrible, but nothing special for me. But I do like Malacia, but I'd give him an average for yesterday, 5. Eriksen played in a deeper role yesterday with McTominay. And I felt like his set pieces and stuff were a little bit off. And I felt like he struggled to get involved in the game enough. So for me, I'd give Eriksen a 4. McTominay as well, I'd also give a 4. I felt like he was a bit like Salah was, a ghost for us. He was there on the pitch and you can see him, but you kind of forget that he's there as well, because he wasn't influencing. I think he still gets run past too easily, and he doesn't create enough for me when we've got the ball. So 4 for McTominay. Elanga, 5. Struggled for that final quality, I felt like, when we got into the final thirds for us in attacking situations. But he caused Trent problems and he kept running at him, wasn't getting discouraged when he lost the ball against him, kept going back at him. And I thought he showed promising signs yesterday. I'd give him an average because I felt like he did lose the ball quite a bit. But I think it was a really good battle between him and Trent. So I'd give Elanga a 5. Bruno, actually thought it was one of his better games for a long time yesterday, Bruno. At one point I had him down as a 7. Then I felt like he died off a bit throughout the game. But I'd give him a 6. I thought his passing was a lot better. His decision-making was a lot better. He wasn't making wayward shots and reckless shots like he does a lot. And I thought he was very good yesterday. So I'd give Bruno a 6. He's still petulant and moaning a lot, but in terms of the actual footballing side of it, I thought it's one of the best games he's had in a while. So 6 for Bruno. Sancho, I'd give him a 6. Showed great composure for his goal. Didn't rush it, didn't panic. And as I said, the composure gets the goal for him. 6 for Sancho. Other than that, though, he wasn't involved a ton, but he stepped up when needed to and got us the first goal. So massive shout out to Sancho for the composure for the first goal. Rashford, 6, obviously got his goal as well. Very well took as well. The composure again, which we don't always get from Rashford. One-on-one with Alisson, showed the composure, buried it. And a great ball from Martial coming on as a sub for that Rashford goal, which I think is going a little bit under the radar. And he's not getting enough credit for Martial. But Rashford, 6 for the finish, showed great composure. Then for the substitutions, Aaron Wan-Bissaka, Donny van der Beek, Martial, Fred and Ronaldo. I give Fred a 4. I don't think I really noticed him when he came on. So a 4 for Fred. Ronaldo, 4 or 5. Didn't really notice him. Aaron Wan-Bissaka, probably a 5. Average. Didn't do anything wrong. Didn't really do anything, no. Van der Beek, similar, 4 or 5 again. Didn't really notice him. And I'd like to say I'd give Donny a lot of credit in the past and wanted to give him a lot of time and wanted him to work at United. But I've come to the conclusion that I just don't think he's a United player. I don't think he suits our play. I know he's got the history with Ten Hag and he might bring the best out of him yet, but I just feel like he doesn't fit that team. And it's a shame because he didn't get treated right under Ollie and we all wanted him to give him more opportunities and chances. And I was one of them back in that. But now when I've seen him play, I don't think he offers enough for us and I don't think he suits our team. So I think we should be looking to ship Donny. I didn't notice him again yesterday when he came on. So probably a 4 for Donny. And then Martial, I thought was the best of the subs that come on. Obviously got himself an assist. Showed some quick, good feet as well at times and skillful feet. And I think he's looked good when he's featured, Martial. Just needs more minutes. So I'd give Martial a 6. And then Ten Hag, I'd give him a 9. So if he was given man of the matches, including managers, Ten Hag would get it for me because I think tactically he got it spot on. The players he picked for the majority got spot on. Dropped big names, got it, and it worked. And I felt like we were comfortable for most of that game. And we got the 3 points against a team that's arguably top 2 in the league and have been for years. Yes, they're not at their best at the moment, but we still have to win them games. And previous seasons, we wouldn't have. So I think Ten Hag needs a ton of credit. I give him a 9. And as for my player of the game, as I said earlier, it is Martinez. I think he was brilliant. I thought he started off a little bit cautious. As the game went on, he was showing that passion, that drive, that fight, throwing his body at things. Strong. His size didn't get utilised like it did against Brentford. Didn't really make any mistakes either. So Martinez, for me, was my man of the match. Let me know who yours was in the comments, guys. Let me know your thoughts on the game itself. Huge 3 points for United. Hopefully we can now kick on in our season and start showing some consistency and getting points on the board. Fantastic performance yesterday. I can't really criticise a lot of the players, like I said, in the player ratings. There's only a few that got below average, so great effort all around from everybody involved. And I'm delighted with the win. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, guys. Before I go, 2,000 subscribers by the 1st of December is the target. What are you waiting for? What are you waiting for? Make sure you're subscribed. Make sure the notification's on. Let's get to that 2,000 before the 1st of December. Let's not just aim for the 1st. Let's do it in November. Let's do it in October, September. Come on. What are you waiting for? I'll see you guys soon.